All right, how to effectively use templates and optimize your time by Breaking Arts and Music. Welcome to the channel here. We'll just gotta go over a few things. We're gonna go over the templates, setting them up, create a master file. We're gonna start big, work our way down, and then the reason for this is we want to maintain a branding continuity and consistency while changing things up seasonally. It's always good to do that on the social media because I don't know, for some reason when you change your channel art and stuff on certain sites, you get more visibility and more traction. And then also we're gonna look at some print stuff, just a little bit of print stuff, just the basics. The templates are gonna be available online and through my website, breakingartsandmusic.com. There you'll have like a follow along tutorial on my web zone. In the description is links to all the Beechhouse Media stuff, the awesome blog, his social groups like the Artist Exchange on Facebook, and plus a link to his prints. If you see artwork that you like, go to the link to Mark's prints there, and you could go right to his stuff. Very awesome stuff. I want to talk more about the artist and his artwork at the end. Timestamp in the description below, or I'll probably have an annotation right around in here somewhere. Somewhere there will be an annotation. All right, templates and how to use them, how to optimize your time. The reason why we utilize templates is so we can efficiently update our social presence and appearance, all while maintaining like branding continuity and keeping some elements the same and recognizable, so that if somebody, like if your YouTube fans are on Facebook, they might stumble upon you on the Faceways too. So you just never know what might happen, but if your brand is recognizable, then people can find you better. But you do want to grab people's attention and change up some elements. So instead of starting from scratch each time, we utilize templates to make it seamless and effective. It's very drag and drop once you get everything set up and you get yourself a master file. Okay, so the first thing you want is you're going to want a master file. Just something you can quickly refer back to. We're going to set that up real quick. We're going to be working mostly in channel art, kind of digital stuff. Like I said earlier, we're going to dabble in a little bit of print stuff here. Just a basic overview with business cards and a trifold. But just for efficiency purposes, I mean, we're mainly working digitally here. So we're just going to keep the file size small so that my processing will function for you guys and things aren't a slog. Sorry. So I've already got my file set up, but just real briefly, I'm going to show you, good practice to get into. So you go, you got Photoshop open or your editing software of choice. It doesn't have to be Photoshop's, and if you're not in Photoshop's or in like Corel, a lot of this stuff translates, maybe not some of the keys, but the basic concepts and the basic ideas. Any program working with layers, this method is going to work, this cookie cutter method, and I have confidence that you'll be able to figure it out. You're a smart cookie. You're smart enough. So you don't necessarily have to be running Photoshop or the most current Photoshop for these practices to apply here. So what you want to do is you take your biggest file that you think you're going to use for channel art, and I got the YouTubes, because the YouTubes translates to platforms like PlayStation and Xbox, and they have background set up for TV and 2560 pixels by 1440 pixels. So what I like to do is, and you don't have to do this, it's just something that I do to be safe, because sometimes if you mess up on your resolution and you do the file exact, then you get blurry and pixelated, and it's not a good day. So you got to figure out what happened. If everything's real small and you try to blow it up, it makes the situation worse. And I've had to start over a time or two there. So we're gonna double it up, is what I like to do. So 5120, 5120, and then let's see here. We'll bring it back up the calculator, and then we're going to clear out the calculator. You press the C button to do that. And then 1440 multiplied by 2 equals, okay, what was that? I forgot already. 2880. So we want to go 2880. Alrighty. And then we've got the resolution at 300 pixels. If you notice that's a little slow, you can bring that down to 150. Contrary to popular belief, you can bring it back up and sample later if you have to do that. So if your system is running a little bit slow, you got a little bit of lag, just bring down the resolution a little bit while you work. And then you can bring it back up later. Now, color mode, just real briefly on the color mode, we got it RGB. That's good for what we're doing. We are working digital. RGB is your digital colors. It stands for red, green, and blue. Maybe a little bit later, I'm going to show you how to change this when we dip into the print realm of the trifold and the business card. For that, you're going to want CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Those are colors for printers. This is pretty much the only two that I work in here. Maybe sometimes go into grayscale, and I'm not entirely sure about lab color. So we'll just keep it like this for the moment. But we do want to name this. We want to name this Mark. I was gonna say marketing, but Mark works. Mark Master File. Yeah, that'll work. Mark Master File. Okay, now that we got the file open, we got the size that we want and everything. It's a little extra big, and then we work small. So what we want to do is we want to start bringing in our templates. Well, where do you get templates? You can just drop into Google or Bing or whoever your search engine is of choice. Go under images and look up whatever template you need, be it YouTube, Facebook, Instagrams, Twitters, whatever, your banner art, things like that. We're gonna need to bring those in there. So you gotta save it from the web and put it in a file. It's a place where you can access to bring it into your workspace. Now, if you feel so inclined, I did take the liberty to make some templates. You'll be able to find those templates through my Facebook group, Breaking Arts and Music, or through the website, breakingartsandmusic.com. I will have those, not every single template, but I'll have a lot of templates available for you, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And then I'll probably be in there too, the trifolds and business card size. So once you pirated your template, you're going to want to place the template into the file. Two ways of going about doing this. You can come in and you can open it into another deal. You scroll down here. I think I saved it as YouTube. Okay, so we'll bring that in, and we didn't bring it in. See, it opened the file. Sometimes, I know it seems counterproductive and everything, sometimes this method is useful. That's why I'm showing it. And I'll show it again later, because there's method to the madness. So you want to grab your, once you have this, it's going to open it like your main line right here. To get it into, your master file, you want to click on the tab, and you want to break it off the main group there. You want this guy on his own, being Han Solo over here, not hanging out with nobody. And you want to get, I think it's called your Move tool. Move tool, hotkey V. You see up there, it tells you in parentheses, like you scroll on these tools. Those help you out a lot. You hear me say that a lot. Learn your hotkeys, and I'm gonna say them as I do them, if I remember for the most part. But you want the Move tool. So you grab on this file, you grab, you hold, you drag, you bring it in to the new file. You see how overly exaggerated I've made this one? That's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Now you just do. And then you scale it to the size. Make sure that you're in the corner. And this is going to tell you if you got your ratio right, because it should fit exactly. And it does. It does. So we've got our ratio on our dimensions right, and we've got a template. Just sitting in here, and chilling out, all max, relaxing, all cool. So now, okay, we'll go back to the one that I've already created so that you have an idea. Now, what I like to do is, because some of these templates have the, let's see here, we'll bring out the Facebook. So if you see in my layers here that, hold on, let me clear all that out. In my layers here, I have these folders. Folders are very good. They're very helpful. You can create a folder down here, a little thing that looks like a folder. That's to group things together. Like, okay, so if I go up to the Facebook folder, I click on the little arrow, it drops down the things that are inside of it. The reason why I put these into folders is so I'm organized and I can work exactly on the area that I need to work on and avoid confusion later. So this folder, the reason why we have folders is it's got a couple of scenarios here. One, we've got what is that? That's the profile picture. So if we want to work on this file or the banner and everything, we can hide the profile part. We can keep them separated. That way things don't get confusing, because you might, you got this hanging out over here, you might not be able to see what's going on back there, and you want to move that. Now if this isn't in a folder, you're going to confuse banners and profile pics, and it's going to be a mess. Make sure to name your layers in your folders. Unlike me, those are the type of the text. But the more things you name, the easier your life's going to be down the road. Sometimes you get in the mode and you make layers and you stack stuff on top of each other, and then before you know it, you just got a bunch of file names here. File names, and it's confusing, and layers are out of order. Make folders, make groups, utilize the tools that you have. Get into the habit. It helps out a lot. So you're all going to need templates for sites that you use. So you're not going to need, unless you're, Pinterest, if you do the Pinterest, that you want to grab a Pinterest template and make sure that you have that going on too. Don't grab templates for sites that you're not using or planning on using. That's just sked your lane, stay in the comfort zone. Definitely if you want to branch out of the comfort zone, explore different social media, do that. But my point being is, if you ain't using it, don't make it in life. That's all right. So anyway, okay, so now we're gonna need to bring in our assets. You're an artist or a musician, and you've got a ton of pictures and a ton of artwork, and you want to bring in just essentially as much stuff as you want seen on your channel art or your banners or what have you. So again, bring it in files. It's so what's the word, monotonous, especially when you have a lot of files to bring in. So again, couple ways to bring in a file to the Photoshop. Photoshop has this little thing called well, you can do import. I never use import, but you do the place. You do the place. You come in and let's grab some artwork here. What we want to grab? Well, there's so many options. So many options. Let's see here. I'll save that one for later. I'm gonna be grabbing a few of these. What's that one? Okay, so we're gonna bring in this one, just all by itself there. Now, but we got, what'd you say? Because it's like, I need to bring in one of them more file. Are you telling me, Mr. Breaking Art, that I gotta do each of these individually? Like, I got like 30 pieces. That's gonna take forever. File, place, grab, drop. That's one of my favorites. I think that's London. I'll go over all these again at the end, but this is one of my favorite arts. But to answer your question, if you're doing place, you cannot select, for some reason in Photoshop, you cannot click here and press shift and click multiple files. Ain't gonna let you do it. It's not happening. Not happening whatsoever with the place method. So if I have multiple files, what I like to do for time management is I go to open, and then I just go through, click, and then I call it cherry picking with the control. If you press the control, or if you're on a Mac, I don't know, it's a flower or something, I don't know, use your Mac cheat sheet, and compare whatever the comparable to Mac is. But if you're familiar with the Mac, you're probably gonna understand cherry pick with control. Okay, so you click one, you cherry pick, you click the next, you click the next, and then you go through the pictures, all of the pictures that you want to import into the project, or into the file, I should say. Be sure to have the control down as you select. Don't let go of that control. Okay, so we got a few pictures, and we click open. And just like we showed you before, that it puts it in this main field here. Or not the main field, but it opens each individual file. Bear with me. I know there's a method to the madness. One of my favorite paintings ever, by the way. Method to the madness. I know, I got the ADD brain. So up here, we've got all of our files, and we need to get back to the OG. We need to get back to the master file. You got this little fast forward arrow right here. So you want to click on that little fast forward arrow and go back to the main one. So the back of the line, we get back up here. It's titled Untitled. So we got to grab all of these and drop them in. And for some reason, this goes a lot faster than just placing the file. And that's because when we place a file, come in here, doing it one at a time, placing the file one at a time. You see, it's in transform mode. Automatically in transform mode, so we have a step. We have to press enter to get it to lock in. And then you'll notice too that it's a non-editable object. You cannot edit this object. It's got to be rasterized. So we rasterize the smart object. That's a lot of steps, especially if you're bringing in a lot of pictures. So the best method of recourse, make sure to throw that away, little trash can in the layers file. So the quickest way I've found, if you know of a quicker way, please let me know in the comments. Definitely, I'm learning too, but from what I know, the most efficient way I have of doing this is I grab them from here, like I showed you before. We break them off, we grab the move tool, we bring it in, there it is, we close it out, we go to the next one, bring, drag, drop. That's the same, but that's okay. I think we'll manage. And then we just keep doing that. Keep doing that. You don't have to, they come in when you drag and drop from when you drag and drop from an open file, it's already rasterized, so you're saving a step there. Rhino's real cool. Then let's see. Bring in our awesome boat. We got the boat there, and you see we're already almost done there. Already almost done. Something for the profile pic. Come on. All right. So yeah, that's the best way of doing that. And then you want to take all of those, and I call them the assets, all the pictures that you might want to use in the future. You want to take all of them, and then in your layers, you want to select the top layer, press and hold Shift. It selects them all. Right click, and then you want to go to not merge layers. That would be bad. That's like crossing the streams. You want to group from layers. Group, we call this MA art. That way you know what it is, and it just doesn't say numbers or letters. And you have them all nice and together. And then when you need to edit individually, you can go to the drop down in the folder. You can grab something. You can shift and blow it up and shrink it down and do whatever it is that you need to do. With a caveat, however, which I will go over in just a minute. Okay, so yeah, I actually, like I had it all set up earlier. I pre-game. I got the file folder all ready to go. So we'll back to my master file here, and as you can see, I have them all grouped together. And in this drop down, we could change things up and everything. Like I said, we could grab one of these photos, we could Control T, we can blow it up, shrink it down, play near far, and place it wherever we need to place it. But I don't like doing that, and here's why. So the folder, I just use it as a toy box. I mean, so like if I grab this and I move it and I adjust it and I crop and I erase, and then 6 months later I wanted to use it for something else, but it's all stylized, it's all looking cool and everything, then I won't be able to have as much control on the design. So what I do is, like I said, I just use this area as a toy box. It's just your toy box. So if I need a file from here, let's see, we'll go this one. So if I need this guy right here I don't grab them and pull them out, anything like that. I right click and I duplicate the layer. Then I grab the layer and I pull it above all other layers in that file. I accordion it up and then I turn off the eyeball to get it out of the way. Now I have a copy. I have a copy of that file. So now we can do some things. We can play around a little bit here. And if I ever needed this again, then I still got it in my toy box. It's still there, still accessible, and non-edited. If I ever had to do anything in the future with that. So without further ado here, let's go ahead and make this a nifty profile picture here, just real quick since we're there. Now I notice this picture is a little it's stylized there. It's like on a canvas thing, like kind of a digital thing going on there. So you know sometimes just a real side tutorial, real quick trick here to straighten things out. If like you've taken a picture of a photo and it's a little like just skewed, you're not right on it, you're lazy like I am, just snap a picture with your phone. If it's crooked or skewed, you can always fix it. And I didn't want to quite do it like that. We want a square, so I don't want the box end of the canvas hanging out. So we take what is called the polylasgon tool. That's L. If you don't see, like you might see like what is it, like a rope, like a cowboy rope, or a triangle with a magnet in it. You know, if you click and hold on some of these buttons with an arrow, it gives you more options. We want, because it's got a lot of right angles, we'll just go the poly lasso tool there. And you find a corner, you click, you go to the next corner, you click, you go to the next corner, and you click, and then it looks like on a square you do that 2 more times, click, and then you go click, and then you see the marching ants. That means you have a selection. You want to take that selection and you want to invert it to get rid of the background, and that's Control Shift I, and you press delete, and there you go, just the area that you want. Now we're going to deselect real quick, see if there's any white, and there is there, but we're going to fix that later. Now up here, you want to have view, and you want to have your rulers on. You want to see those rulers up there. Rulers, if you got to straighten things up, they're your best friend. So you want to come down, you grab from the ruler, and you get yourself a nice little line there. You want to bring the line in. It's nice and blue. We accidentally clicked the poly lasso. Deselect that. I'm going to bring it back up to the move tool. And you want to grab 4 of these lines and just go to the very edge corner and bring it down to the very edge. The max on all of them there. So we got that, and then one more ought to do it. So there we go. Now we want to Control T, and what we wanted to do is we want to just grab corners. But if you grab and you click and you drag, it warps and it skews and it's all crazy. You don't want to do that. If you do, Control Z, it'll bring it back to the last step. If you got to go further back than that, you want to make sure that your history palette is open, and then you get like 15 undos through that. It's pretty cool. So now, well, in transform mode, if you have to do point and clicky stuff, that's right here. But if you do Control T, that's free transform. And we got all these options in transform too. We want to skew it or distort it. We want to do something with it. I don't use any of this unless I got a warp. If I got a warp, or if I got to go clockwise, something like that, or if I got to flip vertically and do that through there. But anything else I need, it's hotkeys. And for transform, it's Control T. Now, if you want to keep this straight and lined up, you do Shift and drag. That'll keep everything in proportion. You're going to use the Shift a lot. Another one you're going to use a lot is the Control, your Control button. So if I hold down Control and I go to this little square, I can drag and I can get it lined up. You get everything lined up within the square. Gotta be careful with it. You know, you kind of eyeball it, make sure it isn't distorted and that it's acceptable. This is just a quick fix. You always, when you take photos, you want to be on it as much as possible. But if for some reason that doesn't happen, you can always use that trick. Now Control Shift I, select inverse again, and clean up the edges. After you use the marquee tool, you just bring that square around, deselect, and then we want to go back up to view here, and we go clear guides, and the guides are gone. Now we Control T again, we shrink this guide down, and we can drag and drop, and we bring it to kind of scale there, and let's see, up here, we bring it into the box, and then we lay it over top of our profile picture. And then you see it's a little not quite in there. We use the move tool to get it adjusted. And then a nice little trick, the secret to layers. Okay, so on the layer, we could change the opacity just for a brief moment. And that will show us, if our pictures, lined up there. We lined up, or are we good to go? Is that what it's going to look like? Our cool profile picture. Let's see here. Alrighty, awesome. So now we've got ourselves a neat little profile picture for Facebook. It's pretty good. It's raring to go there, but it's big. It's not the right size, so we want to crop it, and we want to make sure that it's accurate. So if we turn off the layer, we could go to the marquee tool, and we can drag, and we can light it up, and we can look, and make sure it's perfect, and waste a lot of time that way. But we don't want to do that. That's too much time. Too much time. We need more free time to paint and stuff. So Control, that magic button again. On your layers, if you scroll, accordion that out, on Facebook, profile picture, on the thumbnail. If you hold down Control and left click, there's our marching ants. It's made the selection instantaneously. Now we make sure we get back onto our file, our picture file, and then we weren't quite in there, so we want to deselect, Control T, and bring it up a little bit. Now go back, or press Enter to lock in the transform. Control, left click on the profile pic, Control Shift I, and make sure you're on the right layer and delete. Groovy. We've got ourselves our profile picture. We can put that right there. And it's good to go for now. I'll show you how to save it later. You want to get all your elements in place before you start saving. Alright, now we got the basic concept down. We want to repeat process for the banner here. Let me turn off the profile pic real quick and turn this on. So we got to find ourselves a nice banner. We'll go with the London painting there. So let me pull that up real quick. We got to find the one that we want. All these files. So we'll find the painting that you want there. Yeah, we're gonna move this over. I want this one for this. So again, duplicate layer. And name it. Don't be lazy like me. Name the layer. Name it. And then that keeps the original safe. Nice and safe, clean. Control T. You want to keep things in proportion. This one's pretty lined up, so we're not going to have to do any tricks there. Oh, we got to close that out. Oh, if you're in transform mode, it won't let you hide layers. So if you're trying to do something, like with your layers, and it's not letting you do anything, press Enter. You're in transform mode. So when you're a transformer, you can't drive on the highway. You gotta run on the highway. I don't know how transformers work. So as we could see, I turned down the opacity to see if we're within the guidelines of 828 by 315. We are not quite, so we want to transform it more and drag and drop, or grab and pull. Make sure the Shift key is down. Keep everything in proportion. Whatever you do, you don't want you don't want to distort your artwork or anything. It's a bad day. It's a bad day when we do that there. So you just pull, like that, and bring back up the opacity, and then Control left click on the layer thumbnail. And that'll give us an idea of where we'll at. Composition is key. So on your banner, banners are a little bit of a pain. Control D, deselect. Just because of their stretch like that. They're long. So finding a good composition that's going to convey as much of the painting as possible is the best practice and the best method. You see I have a little bit of the canvas in there. We want to move that over, so I'm constantly control D to deselect, and then going back and then control left click. We've got no white. You probably can't see it, but we've got no white around the marching ants. We do control shift I, delete, and there we go. There we go. Banner to dimension. Banner to dimension. Then we bring back up the profile pic, and we could zoom in, and there we go. I'm gonna turn off some of this background stuff here. So that's what your Facebook presence is going to look like. Before that, by utilizing the templates. That's the basic overview of using the templates. Now, real quick though, you want to do all these in unison. I mean, you've got a brand, and if you're changing up a little bit on Facebook or on Twitter, you might as well do it down the board. I mean, you're here, do it all at once. Change all your channel arts. If you're going to change your channel art, do it all at the same time. And that's why we're here to optimize our time with the templates. So the best method, I say, is to start big. Find your biggest template and then work your way down. And that will maintain your continuity across all the platforms. So let's bring back up our toy box here. Little bag of tricks. We're going to come up with an underlighting theme. Just kind of same across the board for today. So we're going to do this. We're going to do probably one of my all-time favorite pieces right here. Let's bring this one in. And remember to duplicate the layer. Don't be lazy like me. Name it. Name that layer. So okay, cool deal. We've got ourselves a nice thing going on here. I've already fixed this one. I've cleaned it up. I've unskewed it. So I think I'm gonna break my rule there, and we're gonna do a play. So I think I got one already set up, and we don't have to do that again. Nope. There it is. Come on. Cool deal. So what we'll do it here is I start with YouTube, because YouTube's set up for flat screen TVs. TVs, like if somebody's watching on TV, the channel art fills up the whole TV as they select the video. It's kind of nifty, it's kind of cool, but not too many people use that anymore. But we still want to have the channel art in case somebody does. So we'll bring this. I'm gonna drag it on up. Drag it on up. We're gonna make it big. This is RGB, so it's gonna be all right. Resolution should be fine. So we'll try to figure out just general placement. You can get as fancy as you want when you want to do it. We're probably just going to use, I think so many options. Okay, I do got to say something about the YouTubes real quick and how this works. I forgot to mention, I neglected to mention. So we've got the background, which is the TV. So then we've got how it's going to appear on the desktop, which is this long banner that kind of, this area, but it's going to stretch all the way across. And then we've got the tablet banner, which is going to stretch to these black boxes right here. And then finally, we've got the desktop and the mobile banner. So if, let's say for example here, real quick, let's grab the Beechhouse banner, which is right there. Okay, so we grab the Beechhouse banner. We're going to duplicate that real quick and bring that up because we're going to need that later anyway. Turn that back off. So we grab the Beechhouse banner and say we're setting up our YouTube channel art. It only lets you upload the one photo. and we'll think that it's going to stretch all the way across, and it's going to be neat, it's going to be nifty. Let's see if it's lined up on the inside there. This is going to be so cute. This is going to be so awesome. Awesome YouTube channel art banner. And then we come in here. What's going to wind up happening is like, so you set that up, you dropped in the banner, it's going to look great on their template. That looks awesome. It's lined up. It's beautiful. The name's big and loud. You can see it on the TVs. It's great. It is awesome. It's not awesome. It's a bad day. Because when you upload that and somebody is watching on a small desktop or a mobile, this is what they're going to see. It's not going to be pretty, folks. So when people are on the desktop, they're going to see Chahas Media. Chahas Media. That's not a good day. That's not a good day. Trust me, I've been through it, didn't understand it. Like, I set up my channel art, and I double check like on all my devices to make sure everything's on the up and up, and it was frustrating for me to figure out how to do that, because I don't like to read things. But eventually I do, and I figured out how the template works, and it's okay. It's a pretty cool concept. It's all in one file, and done. So let's get back to it. We want an overall kind of overarching theme going on here. So we're gonna want to do something about it. Let's see, where do we want? We're gonna want to use these eyes. I think somewhere around in here is gonna be pretty good. Pretty good. I want the eyes, just kind of part of the banner. Part of the banner itself. I want both of them in there. Maybe we do like this. And this is gonna take a little bit of time. This is the design stuff. This is the fun stuff. So we're just gonna speed through this real quick, design something cool, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so real quick, I like to, really play with the opacity. This is the magic of layers. I showed you the opacity earlier. We could turn that up. We can turn it down. We could do lots of things with that, but we got this really cool feature up here is the layer effect, and so to speak. I don't know what it's called. But in this little box here, you see where it says normal? If you click on that and you mouse scroll, it gives you some wicked cool options for opacity. Things like negative, screen, overlay, knockout, linear dodge, subtract. And I always just R&D and scroll and look at different options, which is going to be neat when you're working in multiple layers there. And sometimes I switch them, I flip them. I have this one, like the bottom one, normal, and then I'll scroll through the top to see if we get different looks there. And we do. It looks pretty slick. So, and this is where the seasonality comes into play. You want to kind of match the feel of what's going on outside. Like, it could be as simple as, wintertime rolls around, comes out of fall, and we just wanted something, a little cold, a little colder to reflect the winter. Or maybe it's a really rough winter, and you want to remind people that summer's just around the corner, and you do something a little bit brighter, something a little bit more fun. And, just one little tweak, resave, upload, and you're done. You're done. Alrighty, now to translate this into other social media, bringing the same aesthetic, the same kind of scheme to other platforms. So what I do is, with those folders we created at the beginning with our template, I take the template and I move it to the top. With that, I can just move these around and set it up the way I want it to be seen. So my setup in a folder, you might have to cut yours up into sections, or they're each 2 layers, but let's go with this, just the banner. For the light page, Control T, you can kind of bring it up to the look that you want, put it in place, and then turn down the opacity. Now we can bring in our marching ants, turn off that template, and that's what it's going to look like. Now you might want to tweak some things. Control D, bring some elements in, just because of scale difference. Now you've got yourself a Facebook banner. Real quick and easy. Up, Control Z, deselect. Remember, Control Z, that's your hero. When you mess something up, you're on a wrong layer or something, that's what you want to do. We want to move this profile thing out of the way for a second, because we're about to save. We're going to save our Facebook banner. Now, pay attention. This is very important. You can mess something up here, so listen up. Now, your Facebook template, you just control left click on the thumbnail in the layers. You get your marching ants. We like the marching ants. Now we're going to come over here to the danger zone. This is your cropping tool. You gotta be very careful of this section. But you want to click that, or you press C. Press enter once. Press enter again. Make sure the template is turned off. That way you don't have your measurements in there. Turn that layer off. Come over to save as or save for web. Don't Control S at any time here. Just leave it. You want to save a new file. So it being just Facebook, who cares? I go save for web. Now you can scale it down a little bit. You can leave it the same. It should upload to Facebook and you should be good. So just go save. And name it Beechhouse. Okay, now that you've got your banner saved, you want to go back and you want to do this quick in case like your system crashes. Go to history, go back to before the cropping, maybe even a couple of steps back just to be safe. Okay, you're good. Now you want to save your file at this point. Now that you have everything back, save your work. Save and save often, but don't get in the habit of cropping and then going, oh, I need to save, and Control S-ing, because then if something happens, you've lost like all your work. So always make backups of backups. Back up your work, back up your data. Okay, so I'm gonna speed edit, knocking out the Twitter real quick, and then we'll move on to business cards. Okay, now real quick, I want to bring up business cards and a little bit of print stuff. So we've got our template for the business card. Now this one's kind of important. I mean, because printers can mess up. You definitely want to utilize, the bleed area. You want to make sure you don't have any type on the outside. You want all the type on the inside, no matter what template that you're using. Like your phone numbers, your websites, all of that. So this is good, this is gray, this is clipped. Okay. Okay, now you want to open a new file. Okay, you want to name it, whatever you named the last one, it's cool. Just something that you would remember. You want to change your dimensions to inches. 3.5 by 2. Now I'll usually double it up. I'll do, 7 by 4. Just in case, because they can always scale down and make it work. If you enlarge more than like 10%, things start to get pixelated, and you don't want things to get pixelated, do you? All right, then you just import that JPEG that you saved earlier. Use the transform tool, scale it to fit, and if your printer needs it to spec, no scale down. And then on the opposite side, you can have your information, or this is where you bring in your text. And you bring down your text size significantly. And you can, put in your information. Okay, and now finally you could go back and you can have some fun with trifolds. But you see how this translates to just about any platform. Like once you have a good, solid master file set up, it's easy. So just spend a weekend, make a master file filled with all of your templates. Then when you get a new print or design or album art, whatever you got, it's all just, it becomes drag and drop every time, and you can change them in one spot on all platforms at one time. So new piece of art comes in, you just stretch it out and you've already got yourself a new theme, and then you can play around with stuff and organization of the layers built on like the previous aesthetic. Alright, real quick, I want to talk about today's featured artist, Mark Taylor of Beechhouse Media. Thank you so much for letting me borrow the content and the fabulous artwork. Not only is like his blog just phenomenal and belongs permanently in your browser favorites, but he's really stand up in the artist community, like very responsive guy. If I ever have a question with anything, he's right there. He thanks every post like on social media. I don't think I've seen anybody so engaged while managing their pages and groups as Mark is. And again, like the blog, constantly referring back to the blog, and again as well, phenomenal art. Definitely check out his prints page, check out his blog, and join the artist exchange. If you really want to level up and accelerate your art, follow this guy. I kind of also use Mark too at Beechhouse Media as like pacing. It's like I see as much content as he produces. My channel's a little different, but I try to keep up with the amount of content produced as he does, and keep in pace with him. I see the channel growth and following the advice with meta tags and whatnot. Just really, really awesome. Check it out. Links below. Thanks for watching. Join my groups, Breaking Arts and Music. I got the communities on the website. The links to all the social groups and friends of Breaking Arts and Music. So again, thanks for watching. Give it a subscribe, a like, thumbs down, offer your feedback, be excellent to each other, and have a good one. Later.